Hello, trading is closed on April 20th, 2021. We always begin with our disclaimer. This is my trading plan for tomorrow, April 21st, 2021. Trade at your own risk because I can be completely wrong. Please follow the rules of my channel and my email is listed here. Look for the pattern with the early high. There it is, and tomorrow's pattern also has the early high. This is a pattern which normally rallies into the close. When it fails, there's a straight line drop, and that's a straight line drop. So it looks like a failure of the pattern, and that usually leads to further declines. And the catch is time does not really run out at today's close, it runs out at tomorrow's open. We haven't been able to maintain this drop, and that's an if, we gap up tomorrow, we still could rally over this high and have the normal pattern. You won't know that till tomorrow. During the day, MEJT gave a sell signal. The target printed immediately, but it gave an optional higher target as well, and we saw that. This move is called false, and we did retrace. Once again, MEJT gives targets rather than entries, and it's not unusual for it to give higher and lower targets from the same pattern, just as it isn't unusual for the market to move higher and lower too. Well, the real question is, have we seen the top? Certainly DeMarc's stuff is compatible with it, but from the scheme of things, this could still reverse, and his stuff just gives the area behind, not the exact price. So far it looks pretty impressive. It is possible to count this wave up as being completed. I'm not totally thrilled with this count. This wave A doesn't break any rules, and there is a relationship with wave C. Looks a little bit forced to me, but if this is the high, it still could work. When you focus in on the drop from the high, you can actually count it as an ABC. It might not be the only way to count it, but it's compatible at least with this initial drop being over. And what's significant about this drop is that we undercut all these prior lows here, and after undercutting them during the day, we closed over, we actually closed over all those lows. That really could be a rejection of the lows. What you really want to do when you see a top is to make higher highs and lower lows. Lower highs and lower lows. And lower lows intraday are nice, but what you really want to see is lower lows on the closing basis, and that hasn't happened yet. Now, it could still happen tomorrow because tomorrow's open substitutes for today's close, and if we gap under this, the decline can continue. But if instead we break over this trend line that we've hit a few times, it would be a valid break, and according to DeMarc's rules, we should travel over this trend line by at least the distance we went under it. That would be a pretty good rally, taking out today's high and reestablishing the normal bullish pattern. So tomorrow's open, I think, is going to be critical. You might be able to talk yourself into this being a hole-in-the-wall gap. I don't know much about one bar walls, but it certainly is possible. and these things tend to fill pretty quickly. So if you did gap up and overtook this high, certainly wouldn't break any rules. So the signals are mixed once again. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high. Doesn't mean you won't gap down. Today's normally bullish pattern had a straight line drop. Normally this leads to further declines, but rather than following through, the market undercut numerous prior lows intraday and then recovered over them. This could be a rejection of the decline. What the bears need to do is promptly to undercut today's lows, ideally by gapping under them. And if they do that, everything is in order for the sell-off to continue. But if they gap over today's close, it's very likely to follow through sharply higher, overtake today's high, and reestablish today's normal bullish tendency. Tomorrow has the early high. That helps their case. So it's one of those things where there should be a pretty sharp move at tomorrow's open. And I don't trade the overnight session, so I don't have to guess. We just are prepared. If the move gaps up, we should probably recover over this high. And if it's down, it's compatible with further declines to come. And that's today's call.